This week, OpenAI released its most powerful model yet, GPT 5.6, and almost nobody is allowed to use it. Right now, it's open to roughly 20 companies. Not 20,000, 20. And here's the part that should make you sit up straight. The US government had to approve each one, customer by customer. Now, most people will scroll past this as just another version number. I want to slow it down, because this isn't really a story about one model. It's a story about a door quietly closing, and I'd rather you see it happening now than read about it later. So let me walk you through it the way I'd explain it to someone sitting right next to me. Here's the plan. First, what OpenAI actually released and how locked down it is. Second, why this is happening. Fairly, both sides, because there's a real argument on each. And third, the part that matters for you. What a moment like this should change about how you work, regardless of which model you prefer. And if keeping a clear head on where AI is actually heading is why you're here, subscribe and turn the notifications on. Not for me, so that when something like this happens, you hear it explained calmly and early, instead of getting it secondhand a week later. That's the only reason I'm asking. So let's start with the facts. GPT 5.6 isn't one model. It's three. Sol is the flagship, the most powerful of the set. Terra sits in the middle, built to balance capability with efficiency. It performs in the same league as the previous version at about half the cost. And Luna is the small, fast, affordable one. Sol, Terra, Luna. Normally, a release like this just goes live. You'd open the app, pick the new model, and start using it. That is not what happened here. Instead, OpenAI launched GPT 5.6 as a limited preview to a small group of around 20 companies, and those companies were approved by the US government. Not approved by OpenAI, by the government, on a customer-by-customer basis. OpenAI has said it intends to open this up more broadly in the coming weeks, and it's been clear that it doesn't think this kind of approval process should be how things work going forward. But for right now, the most capable model OpenAI has ever built is behind a gate, and someone in Washington is holding the list. And before you think this is a one-off, it isn't. Just 2 weeks earlier, Anthropic's two most powerful models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5, were pulled offline entirely by a government directive. So this is now two of the biggest labs in the same month. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. As OpenAI itself pointed out, Anthropic is no longer being singled out. Okay, why is this happening? And I want to be genuinely fair here, because this is a real disagreement, and thoughtful people land on different sides. The case for the gate is about capability, and specifically cybersecurity. GPT 5.6 Sol is, by OpenAI's own description, its most capable model yet for finding and working with software vulnerabilities. On a security benchmark, it goes toe-to-toe with one of the most powerful cyber models in existence, while using roughly a third of the computing effort to do it. That's a real jump. And OpenAI didn't shrug it off. They paired this release with their most serious safety stack to date, and a deliberately slow rollout. So if your worry is that a tool this good at probing systems shouldn't be handed to all 8 billion people on day one, that's not paranoia. That's a defensible position, and the company building it clearly shares some of that caution. Now, the other side. When access to the most powerful tools runs through a government-approved list of about 20 companies, those 20 get to build with something nobody else can touch. That's a head start, and head starts compound. And there's a deeper discomfort here that even OpenAI named out loud. A government signing off on who gets to use a commercial product, one customer at a time, is a new thing. The company itself said it doesn't believe this should become the default. So this isn't a simple story of a reckless company reined in by a careful government. And it isn't a simple story of a good company blocked by an overbearing one. It's messier than that. The people building the tool and the people gating it are both, in their own way, uneasy about it. I'm not going to hand you a villain, because honestly, there isn't a clean one. What I want you to take is the shape of it. For the last couple of years, the best AI on Earth was something anyone could use. A student, a solo founder, a small team anywhere in the world, on the same footing as a giant corporation. What you're watching this month is that turning into something you need permission for, And once access becomes permission, the question stops being who's best with the tool and starts being who's on the list. Quick question for you, and I want the answer in the comments. If you had the choice, would you rather have the single most powerful model on Earth, knowing access can be gated and approved by someone else, or a model a step behind that you can run yourself and that no one can ever revoke? There's no wrong answer, but your answer tells you exactly how you should be setting yourself up. Drop it below and tell me what you want me to break down next. I read them and they decide what I make. So let's get practical. What should a week like this actually change for you? A few things, and none of them require panic. First, the big one. Don't build everything you do on a single model you don't control. If your whole workflow, or your product, or your business runs through one model by name, then a decision you had no part in can change your access overnight. You've now watched that happen twice in 1 month to the 2 biggest labs. So the lesson the serious teams are taking is simple. Don't pin yourself to one name. Build so that if any one model gets gated, pulled, or priced out of reach, you can move to another and keep going. Second, actually know your alternatives. When Anthropic's top models went dark and OpenAI's newest went behind a gate, plenty of other capable models stayed fully available. And beyond those, there's a whole category of strong open models you can run on your own hardware, ones with no central switch for anyone to flip, because there isn't a central switch at all. The further you move toward tools you actually hold, the less anyone else's approval list matters to you. That's the real hedge. Third, understand this isn't a niche concern anymore. When a government is approving access to a flagship model customer by customer, and when even the company that built it says that shouldn't be the norm, you're watching the rules of this whole space get written in real time. That's worth paying attention to, no matter which logo you prefer. But here's where I'll be the calm voice, because plenty of people won't be. This will very likely loosen up. OpenAI is aiming to open GPT 5.6 more broadly within weeks. The other models still work. Your day didn't end. So the move is not to go panic buy your way to independence. It's quieter than that. Figure out, honestly, what you actually use these tools for. Then decide how much independence is worth to you, and build toward it on purpose. You don't have to solve this overnight. You just have to stop assuming the ground under your tools is solid, because this month showed you it isn't always. That's the real shift. Not fear, just clearer eyes about what you depend on. If this was useful, a like genuinely helps it reach more people, and subscribe with notifications on so you catch the next one early. That's where I'll leave it for today. Sit with this one. Keep an eye on how GPT 5.6 opens up over the next few weeks, and don't let it rattle you. Just let it sharpen how you think about the tools you lean on. I'll see you in the next one.